thanks for joining us. Welcome back to another episode of Get to Know, something we're doing for our Calvary students. And today I've got with me Miss Kailyn. Kailyn, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kailyn Graham. I am 17 years old. I'm in 11th grade, and I go to Temple Christian Academy in Mount Vernon, Ohio.
Temple Christian Academy. Now tell me, I'm learning something new here. Does Temple Christian Academy have a school mascot?
No. It's like a homeschooler school. That's basically what it's homeschoolers coming for school.
But you don't have not the Eagles or the Crusaders or then you need to make one. You need to pitch that idea.
Oh, that actually sounds like a good idea. We don't have any sports whatsoever because our senior class this year is one person, so it's really small.
Listen, don't dog on the small schools. My graduating class consisted of 3 people. 3, so one's not too far off. But all right, there you go. 17 years old. All right, wow, okay. Diving in, if you're 17 years old, how many years have you been attending Calvary Baptist Church?
17 years.
Look at that. It parallels.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever visited any other churches?
Yes.
You have.
Quite a few.
That's quite a few?
Yeah.
Have you been to any that were similar to our church?
Most of them, well, they were all Baptist churches, but I would say for the most part, it's like visiting family churches. And it was mainly older people than younger people that I noticed.
Okay.
And preaching was about the same. Music, there was probably a little bit more hymns,
Gotcha.
But basically the same.
So in every interview I've done, I've asked that question, and it's almost a resounding answer from every teen that I have had the opportunity to talk to so far. And the biggest difference that almost everybody is noticing is that as they visit other churches, there seems to be a larger number of older people. Hard question out of the gate. Why do you think that difference exists here at Calvary? Meaning, why do you see that maybe we have a greater reach to some younger people?
Well, I feel like our church puts a lot of emphasis on letting us get involved. And most of the other churches I visited, there was no teens in the choir. You didn't hear of activities. It wasn't broadcasted during like the service at all. And I feel like not saying hymns are bad because I like hymns, but when there's mainly hymns, teenagers normally do not like them. But I feel like that too, which probably isn't a part of it, but
I get it. They disengage at a certain part. And so, interesting. Let me ask this question because you brought it up, and I love that you brought it up. Having involvement in ministries at a church, or be it our church, while in your teen years. So what ministries are you involved in here at Calvary?
I'm in choir, and I help out in some of the children ministries sometimes, but choir takes up a lot of time. But I'm in nursery, and I love nursery.
Awesome. So choir, the nurseries, and then, helping out in some of our children's classes. I'm grateful that we have teens who are involved, such as yourself, in our ministries at the church. And the idea, common phrase, young people are the church of the future. I somewhat agree with that statement, but more so I think this is, for me personally, I look at it, this is your church now, not just down the road. What's your favorite part about our church?
I really love the people, probably because I grew up with these people, but everyone's just super nice, and it's literally like a family, and that's probably one of my favorite parts about our church. And I like the way we have a mix of hymns and newer songs to make it interesting for both older and younger ages, and I love our preaching too.
Good.
All around good.
Awesome. Now, you've mentioned this a couple times, and because you mentioned it a couple times, I'm going back to it. The idea of our music with hymns and newer songs. When it comes to hymns, This is an odd question. I'm just thinking about it because you've mentioned a couple times. Do you prefer the screens or the hymn book?
Screens.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking. I'm curious. Now, do you know how to use a hymn book? Because some people have been screened so long they don't even know how to use a hymn book.
See, that's the thing. When I was younger, either there was no hymn books when we didn't have a screen, I couldn't have it, so I had to share with my brother and sister, which I did not like to do. Or I couldn't find it fast enough because I was like 5. So trying to find 305, for some reason couldn't do it. So
Gotcha. Do you think you'd still struggle with that today?
probably
Okay.
actually.
I just thought I'd ask. I thought I'd ask. While we're talking about music and songs, do you have a favorite song?
Oh,
There's a lot.
I like a lot of them. The one with Miss Beth saying, at the winter restart, I think.
Never lost.
Lost.
Yeah,
I
never
really like
lost.
that one. That one's really good.
That is a good one. That is currently her favorite. The thing with songs is that you do tend to change your favorites. Um, However, I have found myself when it comes to hymns, a lot of times you pick a favorite hymn and that stays with you, similar to a favorite verse or favorite Bible story. So, do you by chance have a favorite hymn?
Yes. Is it called In the Garden?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
is.
really like that one.
All right. Well, there you have it. Um, what about hobbies? Do you have any hobbies?
Um, uh, I like cooking, and there's got to be something else. Oh, I
Any
like walking.
Okay, cooking and walking. What is your number one top absolute best dish that you cook?
Okay, I only made it once, but it's really good. It was homemade pasta.
Like you
It
made the
was,
noodles and everything?
yeah, it was good.
How long did that take to make the noodles?
Oh, funny story. It took a lot longer because I was measuring out 1 cup of flour, but the thing is, I thought it was 11, so I had to redo some of it. So it's probably took about 2 hours.
Okay. All right. And is that, I mean, you got to cut the dough for the new and then let them dry out, right? Like, oh man. I,
Yeah, yeah.
I've never done it. My grandmother makes homemade noodles I think it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. She makes them. So
Good.
that's that's the special thing in our family. So I've seen noodles being made, but good for you making homemade pasta and then walking. So do you have specific places that you walk or is this treadmill walking?
Right now it's in my backyard. I
Okay.
just like walk in circles because I can't really go anyplace else because my parents prefer me not to walk alone, like on the road. So unless I'm with running with my brother, which is really hard. So because I'm not fast whatsoever.
Okay. All right. So walking in the backyard. So some people have like kids have a go-kart or a four-wheeler and they just ride it in circles and they put a path in their yard. Are you gonna walk so much you just put a path in your yard or
I have. I
okay.
have. It's sad. It's actually pretty sad.
All right.
When
Well,
you're quarantined, you have nothing else to do.
I know. It is so very true. I understand that. Let me ask this. How long have or when did you start cooking? You're 17 now. When did you first start cooking?
Um, well, probably when I was homeschooled, so probably like 8. We had so much time that we would just, my siblings, we would cook our own lunch. So
Okay.
probably around,
So when you were homeschooled, you didn't have a cafeteria lady?
no, and we don't even now at
Okay.
there. Oh, yeah, we
It's all
still pack
good.
our lunches. Yeah.
It's all right. How long have you been taking up walking? How long has that been a thing?
Um, Probably just for a year because I used to play sports, but I don't anymore. So gotta fill that time up somehow.
All right. What sports did you play?
I played soccer and I loved it, and I played tennis for like one summer. I didn't really like it.
And thus the reason it was one summer. All right.
Yep.
Well, very good. I'm a soccer guy. So what position did you play when you played soccer?
I played defense each season. I always wanted to be a goalie, but they told me I was too short.
Oh, I
Yeah.
understand that completely and entirely. I get it. Oh, do I get it. Awesome. Well, hey, here's a follow-up question to hobbies. Do you have any hidden or special talents?
Not really. Not no
None.
talents whatsoever.
None. All right. Well, I had to ask. Um, Here's a good question. What are your plans for life? What do you want to do with your life?
Oh. Well, the plan right now is to go to college. Um,
For what?
and I think I'm gonna go to PCC. I think I'm going to minor in missions. I want to be a missionary, but I don't know what my major is going to be yet. So
So you just want to be a minor missionary?
that sounds worse than what I was meaning it to be.
Just saying. That's what it sounded like to me. All right. So missions. Do you have any place in mind that you're thinking of where you may land when it comes to missions?
I do not.
All right.
I'm praying about it, but I don't know yet.
That is good to know. How or when in your life did you feel the call or maybe swayed towards missions?
Um, I think it was around either last year or 2 years ago. Um, there was this missionary who came, and that night I prayed that God would show me whatever He wanted me to do. And then it was just like that night I started crying because it was about missions and going. And I have kind of thought about missions before. So, and that night I just had like a piece like, oh, I think it's missions. So, which it's nice.
Good. That is good. Here, let me ask you this question. What lesson do you wish you would have learned earlier in life? What lesson do you wish you would have learned earlier in life?
Probably not to be afraid. Just like I've kind of grown out of it now, but in seventh grade, I just had this shell. I created a shell, and I was really afraid to do anything spiritually, which looking back, it's sad. But because I missed a lot of opportunities. But yeah, to not be afraid to tell people about your faith.
Not to be afraid. One of my absolute overall favorite songs. It's an older song. The Cathedrals used to sing it. The Cathedral Quartet used to sing a song called "Don't Be Afraid." That was the title, and I don't know why. That has always been one of my favorites and has stuck with me. So even as you were saying that, the lyrics to that song come to my mind. So when this is over, look it up. It'll be an
Okay.
encouragement to you. I'm going to ask this question. Do you know the Lord as your Savior?
I do.
You do. When did you place your faith and trust in Christ, and what did that story look like?
Well, I was 5. I remember, I think it was after a Sunday night. We had family devotions, and my dad let us reenact stuff and everything as a 5-year-old to just sit in lessons, not that fun. So we would reenact stuff. And then at one point, he started talking about heaven and hell and giving examples of heaven and of hell. And I remember as he was praying, um, like in the evening before we went to bed, I remember just picturing hell and being terrified.
Hmm.
And so I went into my parents' bedroom and we prayed and I got saved. And then I doubted my salvation till I was around 11. But then I was so afraid, and I know my parents would have never been mad at me, but I was like ashamed to tell them that I was doubting. And so I asked the lady that I trusted it in our church, and she was telling me that because I prayed every night to get saved, and she was saying that someone else had asked her this too, and she told them that Satan would want you to doubt it, but God doesn't want you to. And if you meant it, then you meant it. You don't have to get resaved. And I understood that. But I believe I got saved when I was 5, but I doubted. And after I prayed the last time when I was 11, I haven't doubted it since. So
Awesome. Awesome. So saved at 5. And then reassurance, we would say that term, got reassurance of that when you were 11. And that is relatively common at a young age of salvation, to maybe get to a point where you just have some questions. And so just, yeah, we use the word doubts, but I think sometimes it's not so much even doubts as much as just general questions that come to mind. And so I'm glad to hear that that is settled for you. How about, let's go to some favorites. Do you have a favorite Bible verse?
yes, I do.
Do you know
It
the
is
reference?
it's Romans 13:11. Okay, I don't know if I have it fully memorized, but I have the gist of it.
Okay.
For now is the time, for knowing this is the time, that now is time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed.
And
I
why
think
is
that's
that
basically.
Gotcha. Why is that your favorite verse?
I had last year, I heard it for the first time. It was in one of our Bible lessons, and we were talking about revival, and it like spoke to my heart that I need to be doing something, because our salvation and I guess the end, Jesus coming back, is nearer than we would believe. So
Gotcha. Good. Very good. Do you have a favorite sermon that comes to mind of all of the 17 years worth of preaching that you have heard? Do you have a favorite sermon that comes to mind, or a favorite speaker?
oh, I think though I've heard this sermon about 3 times. I think it was Kurt Skelly. It was about Rachel and Leah, however you're supposed to say her name.
Yep.
It was just on, I think, Leah's side of just showing that how she praised God at the end, even though she was thought of not really worth anything in a sense. And that's probably the one that stands out to me the most. Like, there's obviously so many great ones, but
Got it. I understand. Yeah, that's a big question, especially even thinking, being raised in church your whole life, 17 years. You to sit down and think of all the sermons you heard. I know that's a big question to come and think of one. Here we go. I'm going to shoot at you some favorites and favorite questions, or questions about favorites. Favorite snack?
um are we talking sweet or salty right now?
It's up to
Because
you.
it's difference.
All right, give me
Okay,
both. Give me both.
if we're going salty, it's probably I'm a lover of popcorn, so it's probably popcorn. And then for sweet, it's like this, it's not a chocolate bar, but it's this orange shaped thing with like chocolate orange stuff. It's really good. But it's like a chocolate orange thingy.
I know what you're talking about. I know
Yeah.
is it wrapped in foil?
Yeah, and they have like little orange slices.
Yeah, I think it's called a chocolate orange. I'm almost certain.
Really? Okay.
I think. But I know what you're talking about. My grandmother used to love those. Used to get them around the holidays. I know what you're talking about. So while we're talking sweet side, do you have a favorite dessert?
Um, I'm not really a dessert person, but if I had to choose, it'd probably like be something with lemon, like a lemon cake or something.
Ooh. Fun fact: do you know who loves lemon anything? A one
Oh,
Pastor Harry Strachan,
really? I didn't know that.
lover of lemon, and now you know. Um, let's see. Favorite color?
Okay, that one's a really hard one because I like all colors. Right now it's probably baby blue or pale yellow.
Okay. All right. If you could describe your dream vacation, where would it be?
It would be in Greece.
Greece.
100.
I wasn't expecting that. Why Greece?
Well, the picture's just so pretty, and I just want to go there.
Okay. I thought maybe, do you like Greek food?
Oh yeah, I do. I like
Okay, so that's a win. One in your category. The pictures look nice. There's two in your category. That's just the pictures. The pictures are drawing you in.
Basically, yeah.
All right, dream vacation because of pictures. What has been your overall favorite youth activity that we've done here at the church?
I think I'm gonna go with the one that everyone goes with, but the winter restart. That's probably the best. But I think my all-time favorite would be maybe the Harvest Rally.
Okay.
I really enjoy that. So even though I don't do much, I enjoy watching other people do stuff.
Oh, that's good. All right. Well, good. I like that one too. That's a fun one every September that we do. And let's round out with a fun question here. If you were given $500, how would you spend it?
Well, first I would give to tithe.
Ooh, good answer.
Yep. And then I'd probably put it into the bank for college. Most of it. Probably not all.
That's not a fun answer. It's a responsible answer, but it's not a fun answer. Pretend like your parents will not be watching this video. How would you spend $500?
Oh. I'd probably go shopping. 100%. Shopping spree.
Anything specific? We talking like just clothes, or we talking are you a video gamer? Like, what are you going after?
Clothes.
Okay, all clothes. There you go. $500. Wait, $450 worth of clothes because 50 of it's already gone to the church.
Yep.
All right, there you go. Well, there we have it. We've gotten to spend a little bit of time with Miss Kailyn Graham. You've gotten to know her just a little bit better, and I hope that you will take a greater opportunity to get to know her a little bit more within our youth group. But I thank you so much, Kailyn, for joining us. Do you have any last nuggets of wisdom or any last piece of advice that you would like to give anybody watching?
No advice. Like, I'm not really good at that. But I miss everyone. That's something.
That is something. That is something, as do I. And this is just one of the ways we have to get together and stay connected. So thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. Until next time on Get to Know, we will see you then.